Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifoma. In this tutorial today, we're going to be learning how to make a placket. So if you are interested, stay till the end of the video. So you must already have cut your neck and opened it at the center. That is, cut it open at the center of the fabric with your desired length of placket. Me, I used 9 as the length of my placket. So to start making the placket, I cut out a piece of clothing that is measured 5 inches in wideness and 11 inches in length. Alright, so if the tearing in your clothes, if the cut you made in the middle of your fabric is longer than 9 inches, that means the longer the cut you made, the longer the placket you're going to use. But because my cut is 9 inches, my tearing is 9 inches, that is why I cut my placket at 11 inches. So the next thing I went on to do is to press gum stay on it. I just want it to be thick. But if you're using a very thick material, please skip this step. You don't need to gum anything to it. But because my material is very light, that is why I'm gumming a medium gum stay on it. Then after gumming it, I just cut out the excess allowances, the excesses. So I just have to fold this placket into 2. Remember, I used 5 inches. I folded it into 2 and I got 2.5 inches. So because I needed 2 pieces of placket, I tore it at the center. I cut it, divided it into 2. Then each piece, I'm going to fold it again into 2. Alright, so that the size of my placket is 1 1/4. It's 1.2. Alright, the size of the placket is 1.2. I want, after sewing it, is going to be less, a little less than 1 inches, because I wanted a very tiny placket. It's going to be a little over 0.5 inches. Then after that, I just have to go over to my sewing machine. When I got to my sewing machine, the next thing I did was I used my chalk to mark 1 inches down from the tear at the center. I marked 1 inches down and I make the mark there. Alright, and I'm going to start sewing my placket to the main fabric. I'm going to use less than 0.5 inches. I'm going to use just something very tiny to sew it, and I'm going to stop at the place I marked. The essence of marking that place is to make sure that the both plackets are in straight line, and to make sure that I stop 1 inch below the tearing. Okay, and I'm going to sew the other side of the placket exactly the same way I made the first side. And I'm still going to stitch it. I'm going to stop the sewing at that chalk that I marked. And that way, the 2 pieces of placket are in straight line. Then after doing that, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to notch it. Now take note, I want you to look very closely. While notching it, make sure that the notch ends at the place your sewing ends, directly on where your sewing ends. Don't cut longer than where your sewing ends, and don't stop before your sewing. You're going to stop at the same line with your sewing, and that way it's going to be easier for you to flip it, and it's going to be neater after you have flipped it. Okay, then after that, just going to flip it. See, because I stopped at the right place, that is why it's looking this neat when I flipped it over. Alright, the placket is almost ready. The next thing I'm going to do is to turn over to the wrong side of the fabric. I am going to stitch the 2 plackets together with the fabric that you cut out. Stitch it just closely to where that cutting ends, and after that, just trim out the excess allowance, and then your placket is ready. See, that is very beautiful and it's very easy to make, guys. So if you are an old subscribers, thanks for coming back to the channel, and if you are new, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you later.